Good evening, and welcome back to DJ and TV live DJ chat that happens every Monday night, normally with your most talented host, the amazing John Young. And I am here doing a terrible job making him look great. Well, I wouldn't have to do a terrible job to make him look great. He looks great on Monday nights anyway. So, our next guest, as you can see right here, it's the handsome Jeremy Brech. He's out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and an extraordinary talent, lighting designer, as well as an extraordinarily successful DJ and MC company, creating amazing experiences for brides, corporate events. Like, wow, the lighting design has taken you into so many different types of events. It's really, really quite extraordinary. And if you've been to either of the last two Mobile Beach shows, you saw some amazing lighting design done there and direction by Jeremy Brech. So it's a real pleasure to have him on the show. And of course, we're going to talk about wedding lighting and what are the must-haves to have right now to be new and exciting, because you can do so much more. It's more than disco lighting now with wedding lighting. You can do tons.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because I get those questions a lot. What should I get for this type of wedding or this size of wedding? And I think that's kind of the exciting thing is there's never really a way to say I only do 300 people weddings. I only do elegant weddings. I only do the crazier weddings. So there's no real specific light that does just one style of event. I think one of the things that I get asked a lot is, for instance, I had a gentleman email me, and I always encourage people to email me, send me messages on my YouTube page, on the AJR Shot Time page, because that's what allows me to kind of create some of the upcoming videos that I'm putting out there. And one of the questions that this gentleman had was, I'm just starting out, and I really want to make an impact with, return on investment with my lighting and, with my DJ company. I'm just starting to do weddings. What do you recommend? And then he basically gave me this list of, I've seen your videos on this, and this. Just wondering a little bit more about, what I should start with to kind of get my feet off the ground. What's going to be my fastest return on investment? Now, obviously, Jason, there's a lot of great lights out there that allow you to get an amazing return on investment, especially if you use your lights to its fullest potential. So one of the things that I kind of asked him back, he gave me a list of about 5 things. One was glow totems, one was pin spotting, one was uplighting, one was dance lighting, one was the audio, and the other one was, oh goodness, what was it? Marketing. So like putting money into his website. And basically the way I answered the question for him was, if you're looking for return on investment, or if you're looking to get off the ground, you kind of have to balance that out and figure out what's going to be more important. So obviously, yes, you can get return on investment really fast when it comes to pin spotting or room washing or whatever it is. But if they don't know that you're a DJ company that's out there, it's kind of hard to market those extras or those add-ons. There's great return on investment on add-ons, but if you're only selling add-ons, you're not actually selling your talent or your performance, then add-ons don't really even exist. That's basically your sale. That's what you sell, is just the add-ons. So my biggest tips that I gave him was, obviously you want to create, he talked about his booth and what he wanted his setup to look like. You obviously want to make something that's appealing to your couples. And he wanted to market towards the 20 to 30-year-old brides. And obviously you have to build your system that's going to be appealing to those people. So do some market research. What's your facade going to look like? What kind of lighting is going to create the energy that you want on the dance floor and the elegance that you want? And then from there, again, with the glow totem thing, glow totems are really awesome. They look great, but are you going to get a return on investment on them? No. Is it going to be part of your setup to actually perform? Yes, then it might be an important thing. The other part was, once you've kind of created your vision of what your booth and your setup is going to look like, then invest money in your marketing and wedding shows. And that was, one of the other ideas is, do I put money into wedding shows? Again, get yourself established, get your website up. So that way, when you go to wedding shows, hey, come check us out. on our website, or look to see a little bit more about what we do, because your website is a virtual brochure.
Mm-hmm.
And excuse me, if that brochure isn't appealing to the 20 to 30-year-old brides, then again, you need to invest in that and make sure that it does fit who you are and what you are as a company. Now, with the return on investment, when it comes to your pin spotting or your monograms, those type of things, again, let those things be add-ons, because if they're looking for entertainment, they're probably looking for lighting, or that gives you the option to get that upsell.
Mm-hmm.
So allow to connect allow your potential client to connect with you at the entertainment aspects, because truthfully, entertainment really can provide you an amazing income if you know what you're doing. Obviously, it takes education. So I always tell people, make yourself a great MC. You and Bill put together an amazing workshop that I've taken twice, and I'm looking forward to taking a third time with Bill, is the entertainment experience. Again, I think those are some things, even when it comes to lighting, you have to understand why you're doing something. And that was a big thing that I learned in that workshop. And that really took what I did as a DJ to really become an entertainer and also a lighting designer. So huge props to you and Bill.
Yeah, that's cool, and thank you for that. I wanted to, listening to what you're sharing, I want to hear, especially with the kind of the question of like, all right, so there's like so many choices now. There's so much more than, when I got into it in like 1989, there was just disco lighting, and that was just big par 64 cans, band lighting, and that was it. I mean, that's what you put together to kind of create your thing. And now it's like it's so huge. So we're gonna take a break and hear from our sponsors, DJ Event Planner, Electro Voice, and when we come back, I want to talk a little bit like, what if we frame this in terms of like, what is your identity? Like, what is your identity going to be, and then kind of build out like what kind of design or what you're going to offer in terms of experience and design from that identity. So let's talk about that when we return. I'm talking with the amazing lighting designer Jeremy Brech out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and we'll be back in just a moment.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
And we're back with Jeremy Brech on DJ and TV with DJ Chat Live, and you can go ahead and post if you have questions for Jeremy while we're talking. Post those in the chat room, and I'll keep an eye on those, and we'll be sure to address those. Now, before we went into the break, talked about identity, because it's like you said, the example that you got. It's like, okay, so what should I do that gives me a return on my investment? My website. Here's 5-10 different lights, this system that you don't need, like this giant buffet of stuff. It's like, well, where do you even begin with a giant list like that? So how would you, being somebody like that's either kind of been in the industry for a while and they go like, I really want to define my identity, how do you go about that? Kind of from your point of view, looking in hindsight now, as your identity has really evolved and become what your company identity is now, and your identity in the design work that you do, what would you share for someone? And then what kind of like equipment would they want to bring in to augment that identity?
Yeah, for sure. And, I think there's a lot of different ways to kind of answer that question. Just because, even though the person watching this video right now just might be getting into the industry, and there might be somebody who's been in the industry for 20 years and they say, gosh, I really need to regroup and figure out where I want to go with my business and who I want to be and what I want to do. What are the type of clients that I want to work with? And, truthfully, I think that's probably one of the most important things, figuring out who do you want to work with? Mm-hmm. Do you want to work with the client who is a perfectionist. Now you have to ask yourself, are you a perfectionist? So if you're not, you might be looking for the wrong client. Now, when you're kind of creating your business or creating your setup or your system, if you want to call it that, if you're looking for that elegant feel, you might look for a different style of lighting or a different style of sound than what someone who just wants to go in there and just pump bass and throw lasers all over the place. They're two different two different styles when it comes to an entertainer. When you really find out who you want to be, again, there's great opportunities out there to really form yourself to be that. And the reason I say that is because I've taken numerous workshops. Jason, you know how much I appreciate education. And I think that's really been some building blocks for myself in the last, I think yours in Bill's workshop was the first workshop I'd ever taken.
Oh, wow.
So that was a true eye-opening experience for me. And when I took that workshop, I knew what I wanted to do with my business and where I wanted to go, who I wanted to be, and what the client that I wanted to work with. So when I sit down with a client, I interviewed them. Usually it's DJ sit down and they interview the DJ and figure out if the DJ is a good fit. But as DJs, if you're doing your business right, you should be interviewing your client to make sure that they're a good fit for you. And when you do that, you're going to know, again, the type of client you want to work with, and you're going to know what you need to build around yourself and your business to make sure that you are a good fit for your client, and that you're bringing the right lighting, you're bringing the right sound, you've got the right music. That really is going to form around who you want to be and who your identity is, like you were saying.
Yeah, and when I was reflecting back to the Mobile Beat, not the last Mobile Beat show, but the one before that, what was that, 2015, that I had the pleasure of doing with you and Bill and Jason Janai, and we did that, and one of the things that I really, really loved about it, and you guys continued it through in last March's show as well, is like in terms of identity, Jason Janai he goes out and he spins, he just DJs, and he's amazing at it, right? He's standout talent. I mean, his clients admire him for his talent, and he's not like jumping on and telling a story and doing that. He is really, his focus is on his identity, and his focus is on spinning and DJing and playing, and yours in the lighting design and creating that experience and creating the theater there, and Bill hosting. Not that you guys don't do the other things, but it's like, it really demonstrated, like, when somebody really goes, okay, I'm really going to develop in this area, I'm really going to zero in and really be extraordinary in this area, and kind of go down that the storyteller pathway of like Bill and Mike, or the lighting like you've done, or even if you're just like, hey, I'm just going to be the most amazing DJ anybody's experienced and take people on a musical journey. There is that as well, and then to build around that. So let's say, for example, it's somebody who it's like, I want to just focus on spinning, on DJ, on mixing and programming and be awesome. So I don't want to bring a light tech with me. So what would be a great ways that people would have a cool lighting experience, but that I can pretty much turn it on and it just kind of runs itself? What would be some basics that you would suggest?
Yeah, so I think the last show that I did with John, we kind of talked about, if you're just starting out and you're not ready to make the investment on, a fixture that's $800 a piece, there are kind of that stair step to kind of build yourself. Some of those might be, they've got Chauvet DJ actually has like a Tri-Bar 6. They've got one of my favorites, and actually I presented at Atlantic City, which I'd never done before in my lighting workshops or my lighting seminars. I had never actually used a DJ special effects light to show how to use it in a lighting design aspect. So we actually use the swarm wash effect, or the swarm effects wash, whatever it is. Like I said, I'm a moving head guy, so to me, I don't really know that realm of the, lighting, sure. But again, to me, that's a really powerful fixture because it does add some special effect. It's got, it has a laser, which I would probably never use. But the thing I loved about it is it had that wash effect. So I could actually wash a dance floor with a DJ light. And to me, I think that is one of the most powerful things when you're looking for a light that kind of has the flexibility. Can it light up an entire room? Can it light up a dance floor? Or is it just going to be a couple dots here and there? And I think when you've seen how lighting has progressed, like you talked about, it might have been par cans back in the day, and then they had the derby lights, and then now they had the LED derby lights, and then the LED spots were all over people and brides and things like that. Well, now the technology has gotten so much better, and I think they've adapted to what people are looking for, is just that all-around light that kind of creates that beautiful wash, but yet maybe has a little strobe in there when the fast dances and stuff are going on. The cool thing with, and I don't know about all the other companies or anything like that. I'm just very familiar with Chauvet DJ because, again, I like to speak on their behalf when it comes to seminars and such. But they have a lot of their equipment is run on an IRC remote. So if you're saying, well, I can't program that light, I don't know how to do, DMX or anything like that, they've made it simple where basically they give you a remote, you point it at the light, and it does what you want it to do. So to me, again, those are some great ways to kind of progress. And when you start learning DMX, then getting into some of those bigger fixtures. And again, when I look at it, in what I do a very higher end production when it comes to my weddings. And I go to my weddings with 2 moving heads, and I can create so much as long as you know what you're doing with your fixtures.
Wow, that's really cool. We're going to take one more break, and we're going to hear from our sponsors, DJ Event Planner and Electro Voice. And when we come back, I'd like to get your suggestions around if a person was going to go more the storyteller route and creating theater in their events, and then if somebody was going to go down the route where they were really saying, I want a whole lighting design aspect to my company, and what might be some good steps to look at to grow and develop through. So you're not trying to be too much too fast, but some ways to step up. I'm talking to the extraordinary Jeremy Brech out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, DJ Jer, and we're talking about lighting for weddings. And we'll be back in just a moment.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
It's Monday Night DJ Live Chat, and boy, the chat room is just really, really busy tonight. And great to see everybody coming in and tuning in for the show. I'm talking to Jeremy Brech from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, DJ Jer, and lighting designer extraordinaire, as well as a talented DJ as well. I've seen video of you DJ, and you beat matches as well as the best of them. So all around host, MC, and lighting designer. You've got Renaissance man. You've got it all. And so we were talking about like if you were going to go do the like if your focus or emphasis was more on kind of storytelling and hosting and emceeing and things like that before even getting into the dance and that sort of thing, if you would focus on different lighting fixtures to create theatrical moments, if that was going to be your emphasis.
Yeah. So if you're looking at the more theatrical, again, I would definitely look into something such as like the moving heads. I'm excited because I just ordered the Hybrid 140 SR, which is the spot beam wash that Chauvet DJ just launched. We have 6 of those coming, and I'm so thrilled to get those in October. We're going to do some really amazing things. But again, I mean, those moving heads allow me to spotlight moments and create moments and move the direction where I need it to go. Anytime that light comes on, people know where the action's happening. But when you talk about a storytelling aspect, it's funny because Jason, like you said, throughout this conversation and numerous conversations, so many people across the DJ network, we talked about, as we kind of started this conversation about, recognition and how people see you. And I, across the country, am known as this lighting guy. And it's true. I do love lighting, and I love all the aspects of it. Mm-hmm. But here in my market, I'm actually known for my DJ and my MC skills.
Awesome.
lighting isn't as big as it is for me across the country. I'm a better performer than I'm a lighting designer, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that means you're an
But
amazing performer.
yeah, no. But again, that's what my market knows me as, because I perform at a very high level, and it just
Yeah,
comes
that's
from
your identity there.
it just comes from the education and using that education in my performance, and that makes a huge difference. I always push people to go get education, because that really does make the world of difference when it comes to what we do in our performances.
Mm-hmm. So true. So true. Let's talk a little bit about audio. There's a symposium that's coming up here.
Yeah, and you were talking about, it's funny, you were talking about storytelling, and as a storyteller, one of your biggest tools is your voice, but
Mm-hmm.
then also how it's amplified to all the guests, and
Clean
obviously the
audio.
audio is what
Mm-hmm.
does that. I'm excited to be working with Ben Stowe up at NLFX, which obviously you know Ben. I think
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people know Ben. And then also Mike Dussault with Electro Voice at EV headquarters in Burnsville, October 10th and 11th this year. They are putting together an audio symposium, which is going to be awesome. And I've been begging them for about 3 years to do this. And to me, I mean, think about it. And again, I'm not putting down lighting. You don't have to have lighting, that type of thing. I'm not saying that. But if your lighting quits on you, you can still perform. You can still do your job.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't run your audio correctly, your job might be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
So one of the things that, again, that I really encourage people to do is look at what tools you have. And the thing with this audio symposium that they're putting on, yes, it's at EV headquarters, but this is not just for EV users. It's not a sales pitch for EV. Basically, these are some of the engineers and some of the brains behind EV who create the audio and basically break down the elements of sound and music to make sure that you're utilizing any speaker, whether it's a QSC, whether it's a JBL, whether it's an EV or a Bose, making sure that you're using it to its fullest potential. So I know we're almost out of time, but I want to make sure that I kind of explain a little bit about some of the things that are going to be going on with this, because again, it's extremely exciting. So the first thing we're doing is we're kicking off with Audio 101, basically the definitions of audio and all the things that you need to know as you start going through the 2-day process. Then it goes into the spec sheets, understanding spec sheets. What does watts really mean? What does ohms really mean?
Mm-hmm.
And how does it line up to make sure that your audio is perfect? Next thing is gain structures, and then dynamics of quality versus quantity of music. And then we're going out on the town, which, as you know, EV always takes care of their people when it comes to any seminars or workshops that are going on up there. Then second day, and then we're doing some Q&A, basically a quiz as well, to make sure that people are on the right track. We're not over anybody's heads. And if we are, we kind of backtrack a little bit to get everyone on the same page, because we don't want anybody to feel left behind. Now, this is not a hard workshop. It's not an easy workshop. Everybody's going to progress no matter what level of performer or what level of entertainer you are. So second day is microphones, wired microphones, wireless microphones, when you should use certain microphones and things like that. And then also DSP, not just the back of the EV speakers, which is phenomenal. You have EVs, you know what it's like. It's like being able to go up to that dial and the thing just figures it out for you.
I know, right? Like, sound amazing.
But,
thank you.
Yeah. But DSP is used all over the board. I mean, you look at drive racks, you look at all these different things. There's always signal processing happening. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about speaker placement, why it's important to have subs here, not here, or over there, or where a satellite speaker needs to go, or delays. Oh, sorry, my camera's blurry. Where delays need to happen. And then also identifying frequencies is the last part of it. So again, there's so much going on in 2 days. And Ben has already said that, we're not charging enough for this workshop.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I don't even know how much you're charging, but it sounds like not enough.
I don't either. But it's not my ticket; it's Ben's ticket.
Where can we sign up for this?
Yeah, so if they go to the audiosymposium.com, again, the audiosymposium.com, I'm going to let you guys in a secret. Don't tell Ben still that I told you guys this. But what we're going to do tonight for this show, all the people who are viewing this show, this is a special that we're running. If you type in Shop Time VIP, you can get $100 off your ticket tonight.
Nice.
Okay? Now, here's what I'm going to do. And again, I talked to Dussault this afternoon, and he's like, I don't care. What we're going to do, the first 10 people that sign up, somebody's going to get their ticket for free.
Oh, awesome.
So the next 10 people that sign up, you get the $100 off. You also get a $100 credit of EV gear. So whatever you want to spend it on, whether it's a microphone or a speaker, whatever it is, speaker stands, it doesn't matter. $100 credit, $100 off tonight. And out of those 10 people, somebody's going to get a free ticket to Audio Symposium.
Oh, that's so awesome. Everybody should go to this. I mean, because in the technology that we have now, Jeremy, no DJ should ever sound like this on their right? Never should they sound like that. So get over there so you could already beat everybody in your market just by having clean sound coming out of your speakers. Jeremy, thanks for spending this time with me tonight. It was so much fun. You're always a blast and always have so much great stuff to share.
Oh, I think I just got a message from Ben Stowe.
Oh, now you're in trouble. So now you're going to have to go deal with that. So, well, thanks a ton, Jeremy. Take care until we chat again. This is, I'm Jason Jones, and coming up next, stay tuned. We've got more fun on DJNTV Live DJ Chat, sponsored by DJ Event Planner and Electro Voice, with the DJ News of the Week with Dan Carpenter and Michael, Joseph, and myself. Well, it's all coming up. And we're out. All right.